Hey y'all, welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. It's another magical macro Monday, but it's also Malt Liquor Monday. And today we're drinking a Mickey's. Thank you for joining us.
Mickey's on the counter, problems on the shelf. We pass it like an answer till we forget ourselves. Mickey's on the counter, buzz before the crowd.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional, somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we are drinking and reviewing. We are back to do that once again. It is Malt Liquor Monday. And there's Andy in the attic. There's Jay.
You just got deflated.
I've been. What are we drinking today?
Mickey's Fine Malt Liquor. It's got the wide
we've had a
mouth.
premium malt liquor. Now we've got a fine.
With the screw top.
Yeah, it's good.
Another screw top. What is it about these malt liquors with screw tops?
Oh no.
Yeah, you don't want. That's like liquid gold. You don't want to lose
I don't want to lose that. Gosh. I'm going to be very fancy and drink out of this glass.
I just want to say that of all the beers that foam up on you, you've never tried to do that until Mickey's.
We've had beers that were a single price $25 beer. And
yeah.
Probably more.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. I'm like, what's the appropriate glass to pour a malt liquor? Oh my God. It's like embalming fluid.
It's not that bad.
It's hairspray. It's like
Thank you, Andrew.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
This is not why I started a lame beer show.
We didn't get into a beer show for this. Mickey's malt liquor, 5.6%. Originally brewed by Sterling Brewery in Evansville, Indiana, from 1962 to 1972. It's full body, moderate bitterness, and fruity aroma. I don't know what fruit that is.
Yeah.
You know, those fruits that smell like a rotting corpse, or, what are the
come on now.
The Dorian fruit or something like that. This is made from water, barley malt, corn syrup, or as they like to do in parentheses, dextrose and maltose, yeast, and hop extract.
Hop extract?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's pretty common in beers, but yeah, so it has won multiple awards at the World Beer Classic
For malt liquor.
Yeah, and the Great American Beer Fest.
For malt liquor.
I'm thinking of World Baseball Classic, the World Beer Contest.
Yes. In the malt liquor category.
In 1972, yeah, it was purchased. The rights to Mickey's and the brewing was purchased by G. Holloman Brewing Company. 1996, Stroh Brewery purchased it from them. And then Miller acquired it in 1999.
Yeah, good old Miller. That's one of y'all's favorites.
Yep. Features the Hornet as part of its branding evolution in the 1980s. Originally, Mickey's did not have the Hornet, but in the 1980s, started their Mean Green campaign.
Yes.
They refer to this also as the grenade,
That's what I was
but
going to say.
it's meant to look like a barrel, like a whiskey barrel. And
The classic
if you
bottle that
recall
everybody knows when you go to the
from
store.
if you recall from our previous Macro Mondays, this is for King Cobra and the Colt 45, the marketing campaign in the 1980s for malt liquors were for kick and aggressive and, uh, toughness. So this,
That's the name's King Cobra.
right, aggressive, stinging kick, symbolizing potency and a sharp buzz. And now it is a sponsor for the UFC. So it partnership with the UFC, and their motto is "Get Stung."
Yeah, just when I think UFC, I think Mickey's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you look under the cap,
I was going to ask.
they have these visual riddles and brain teasers called rebus puzzles. And so there's a variety of them.
Mine has a steak and a tennis racket. Something else.
Yeah. So you're supposed to figure them out. I can't see them very well in the light of the attic.
Well, you can't
So-
see it very well in the light of the light.
Yeah.
The solutions are on their website, by the way, but there's a bunch of them. We all have different ones. That's good to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. So I mentioned, so they're macro because they were taken over by Miller Brewing Company in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm going to go more into the history of Sterling Brewery, which was started in Evansville, Indiana in 1863 as originally named the Fulton Avenue Brewery. It had been acquired multiple times after and renamed Sterling Products Company during Prohibition. During that time, they sold soft drinks, near beer, malt extract for home brewers. So,
was it not illegal to homebrew during Prohibition?
that's what I thought, but that's what they did.
Wow.
I think that's it says homebrewers, yeah, homebrewers. And after the repeal of Prohibition, they became Sterling Brewers Incorporated. Before Sterling Brewery, they merged with Associated Brewing Company in 1968, and then, of course, as I said earlier, 1972. It's when they left them to go to G. Holloman Brewing Company, which I should have looked that one up because we did another one where G. Holloman Brewing Company did, and I can't remember that one. That was not too far ago that we. Anyway, I'm gonna slip myself a Mickey.
All right. Man, I'd like to not go first on this one, but I think I'm the only one that hadn't had it, right? So I think the best thing about the beer is the bottle.
The grenade.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's obviously, I mean, I don't know of another beer, malt liquor, or anything that's in a bottle shaped like this. Am I not thinking of one?
Not exactly like this, yeah. Not a barrel shape.
That's why I said it's unique. That's kind of their calling card, and it's been like that, like Andy said, since the '80s when they went to that marketing. So when we grew up, I remember having in my formative years before I even met you guys.
Your developing years.
Yeah. That's it was a long time ago because given we met at college.
30 years ago or so. Yeah.
All right. So of the malt liquors we've had, this is the best one, in my opinion. I'm not saying it's good necessarily. I don't know that I'd necessarily want to drink it. I mean, but at least if you handed it to me, I could drink it. The other ones we've had, Steel Reserve, King Cobra, Colt 45. They just were a little too much. This one tastes more like a beer to me. Not a very good beer, but a domestic beer, versus a malt liquor. So
like macro.
Yeah, it's tastes like a macro beer. So I don't like it. I'm not overly excited that I got 5 more of these bad boys. But it's okay. Between a couple of scores here, I'm going to give it a 4.5. Again, for the malt liquors, it's fine. I don't ever have to have it again. So you hand it to me. I'm probably not going to drink it personally, but I would in a pinch, I guess.
What are you going to do? Hand those other 5 beers out to friends and family?
I mean, it's a grenade. So
how many steel reserves do you have left?
5.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So you've taken out 7 of those.
You better have
did I get a 12-pack of those?
Didn't you get a 12-pack?
I did. You're right. No, then I've got 11. So I got 11 left. I've only had one. Let's put it. Whatever I got, I've only had the one. Yeah, Andy, thanks a lot for doing this, coming up with this gimmick here, because
I've got a lot of
beer that I don't want to drink, or malt liquor, whatever you want to call it. I got a lot of junk that I'm not excited about, and it's just taking up room in my fridge or in my storage behind.
Have you a nice friends and family party.
We should stick to 40s, or you just do this crazy malt liquor party at your house.
That would involve people actually coming over.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't really want that. So,
just cram in the pub shed there.
Yeah. All right, Andy, you're up.
The one and only time I ever had this, and I had never heard of it, was fall of 1996.
Wow.
And I was a freshman in my pledge brother, freshman in college, and my pledge brother from not Chicago, but suburban Chicago is like, dude, I always drank Mickey's, and I was like, what's Mickey's? And so he found it and he brought it to it and we drank it. And I was like, this isn't good. Even back then when I was drinking crap beer, we were drinking Busch and Beast and Southpaw Keystone and stuff like that. Yeah. This isn't good. And it was very telling because, the guy's been to jail and for drugs and, fighting and stuff like that. So that's what I've always associated Mickey's with: bad decisions and life choices, things like that.
About that.
I will say this: the taste is better than the smell. It's got a horrible aroma, but the taste, not as you said, Ben, it's not good, but it was surprisingly not bad compared to the smell that I had the very first pour. Yeah. It's worse than just your typical macro lager. It is malt liquor. It's a macro malt liquor. And it's just for fun and silliness on a stupid beer show that we do, and we would never do this in our right minds other than the clicks. So that said, 3.5. Yeah, better than Steel Reserve, King Cobra, but I think Colt 45 was better.
Be honest, you knocked it down a point because of the person you associate it with, right?
Yeah, that guy. And he was Hell Week with him. I was responsible for his whereabouts during Hell Week, and that was the worst.
I can't imagine that one, but
I'm so glad Jay and I were not we're not in your pledge class, and we're in our own pledge class a year after you.
Yep. Yeah. So my thoughts on this, I had forgotten of your connection there, and I do remember that because I remember when he lived downstairs and would drink these in his little room there, in the lodge. But I had previous association, which was a little more nostalgic, from earlier than that time frame of going off to college. So it's it's sweet and malty and true malt liquor fashion. I've always enjoyed the little bottles and thought it was kind of funny. Even when the local beer store here got it, I kind of got a laugh out of it. And from a novelty perspective, it's kind of what they were doing. So, yeah, for me, I bump it up a little bit more just for those reasons of the nostalgia and the history with it. It's probably a 5 for me, which I'll say it. I mean, I had a couple of these last weekend because I like you, Ben. I bought several, and it takes that place as the filler beer.
Keep the party rolling.
Yeah. I mean, it's once you have a couple of really good beers, you just switch to this just to keep going a little bit, So
that will be a 4.3 for the Mickey's malt liquor. So I don't know why we started doing this. I mean, I do know, but I don't know why we started doing this. But if you got a malt liquor you want us to look for, let us know. We've got a couple more, I think, in the hopper that we are planning on doing here. And then we're kind of getting low on the malt liquor options that we can find in our area. So
3 more. Yeah, that'll be 7 for the year.
Yeah.
If we can get it.
So we need 5 more malt liquors to clear this whole thing out and be done with this forever, hopefully. So definitely appreciate you checking out this video, though. It has been another wonderful Malt Liquor Monday, and thanks for checking out our video. Be sure to like, subscribe, cheers that notification bell, and you can catch the next Malt Liquor Monday, first Monday of every month, where we do malt liquor or traditionally Macro Monday. We got some links down below. Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server, Hopped Up Beer Review merch. Check all those out. And with that, we will malt liquor it up in a month. For Andy in the attic and Jay, I am Ben. Cheers, mates.
I'm going to put Pandora back in the box.
Mate.
Yeah, good luck.
Mickey's on the counter, problems on the shelf. We pass it like an answer till we forget ourselves. Mickey's on the counter, buzz before the